John, a 45-year-old experienced truck driver, is known for his long, solitary journeys through the countryside. John is a simple, skeptical, and practical man who doesn't believe in ghost stories or hauntings. He is currently transporting an urgent load of grain to a distant city. The only available route is the Shadow Valley Road, an old and poorly lit path surrounded by dense forests and shrouded in dark legends. The road is avoided by many drivers due to rumors of unexplained disappearances and supernatural sightings. John, however, laughs at these stories and decides to take the road to save time. He believes that fear is just a creation of the human mind. As John drives further down the road, the weather begins to change. A thick fog descends over the road, and the truck's radio begins to fail, alternating between static and unintelligible whispers. He tries to ignore it, attributing the phenomenon to the bad weather. However, something unsettles him. The truck's headlights seem unable to pierce the darkness, as if the light is being swallowed by the night. Suddenly, he sees a figure by the side of the road. It's a woman in a white dress with long, wet hair, as if she had just emerged from a river. She is facing away from him, but as he drives past, John glances in the rearview mirror and sees her vanish instantly. He feels a chill run down his spine, but convinces himself it was just a trick of the light and the fog. Hours later, John stops at an abandoned gas station to rest. While he's parked, he hears knocking on the truck's door. When he opens the door, he finds a thin, pale man, dressed in tattered clothes and with an unsettling gaze. The man asks for a ride, saying he needs to get to the next town. Reluctantly, John agrees, but something about the passenger's behavior leaves him uneasy. During the trip, the man begins to tell stories about the road. He speaks of terrible accidents, lost souls wandering the area, and a curse that haunts those who dare to travel at night. John tries to stay calm, but he realizes the passenger seems to know intimate details about his life, things he has never told anyone. At one point, the passenger asks John to stop the truck. He says he needs to get out, but before leaving, he looks into John's eyes and whispers, "You're already dead." John is paralyzed, and when he turns to question the man, he vanishes without a trace. From that point on, inexplicable things begin to happen. The truck starts to malfunction, the headlights flicker, and John hears voices whispering his name. He sees strange reflections in the rearview mirror, as if someone is always behind him, but he can never see anyone there. The road seems to stretch endlessly with no end in sight, and time feels distorted. John tries to call for help, but his phone has no signal. He decides to stop the truck and check the engine, but as he steps out, he realizes he is completely alone. The forest around him is eerily silent, with no sign of life. Suddenly, he hears footsteps behind him and sees shadows moving among the trees. He runs back to the truck, but the doors are locked and the keys have disappeared. As he struggles to get inside the vehicle, he sees the woman in the white dress again, this time closer. She's facing him, her face pale and her eyes empty. She reaches out her hand and whispers, "You are one of us now." John manages to get back into the truck and start the engine, but the road is now completely different. The trees seem to close in around him, and the fog becomes so thick that he can barely see a few meters ahead. He accelerates, trying to escape, but the truck seems to be pulled backward by an invisible force. Suddenly, he sees a light in the distance. It's an old house with a sign that reads, "Welcome to Shadow Valley." He stops the truck and decides to enter, hoping to find help. Inside the house, he finds a room with old photos of missing truck drivers, including a photo of himself with the date of his death that very night. John realizes he is trapped in an endless cycle, doomed to repeat the journey down the haunted road forever. He tries to escape, but the doors of the house are locked and the whispering voices grow louder. He sees the woman in the white dress again, this time with a macabre smile. She says, "You're never leaving." The story ends with John returning to the truck, now completely insane, driving aimlessly down the endless road. The final scene shows the truck disappearing into the fog, while the whispers echo in the background, suggesting he has become another lost soul on the Whispering Road.